they're going to be dispersed, then I'm really angry because of their filthy practices. However, after everything is purged, line 18, and Christians like this prophecy too, because of the new spirit. I will put a new spirit into them. I remove the heart of stone from their bodies and give them the heart of flesh instead. But Christians who pick this up and say, well, that is a prophecy of Christianity, the new spirit, new wine, and not an old wineskins, but a new wineskins, yes, but they don't read the next sentence. So they will keep my laws and respect my ordinances and put them into practice. So, one, you can be selective, but then you're not being fair to the book. You can't just take, oh, I'm going to put a new spirit into you, and then forget the next line, which is what everybody does. So if you don't like the next line, don't use the first one, is my recommendation. You can't have it both ways. You can't say the law is a curse and then talk about a new spirit from Ezekiel. I mean, Ezekiel would go insane if he knew you were doing that. He would I don't know what he would do. He'd probably kill you if he could, if he thought you were using his work like that. He would be like out of his mind, I think. I mean, I personally don't care either way. It's not for me to judge. I don't keep the law, and I don't think anyone has got a new or an old spirit, and I don't think anyone's cursed. But, I'm looking at the literature the way it's presenting itself, knowing that these people thought he would be insane with anger if he thought someone was doing that. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. But those who put idols on their hearts, I will remember. So it's doing again, as the letter of James says. I will remember what they did, their conduct. So the cherub spread its wings, and the glory of God hovered, and then you see it took off, paused on the mountain east of the city, which is the Mount of Olives, if you're interested. And the Spirit lifted me up in the vision. The Spirit of God took me to the Chaldeans, away from the exiles, and the vision faded. And I told everyone in exile what had been shown me. So he sees God leaving the temple, and you see God takes off like a spaceship here. He takes off, he pauses for a moment over the Mount of Olives, and then he's gone. I don't know where he went. I don't know if he's ever coming back. So far, I haven't seen him recently. Okay. What else do we have here? Chapter 13. Another famous section that the Dead Sea Scrolls are very interested in. This is in the Damascus document too, in the Dead Sea Scrolls. They've read their Ezekiel very closely because the scrolls are big Zionist literature. Look at 13. I use Zionism as not a modern political movement, but as a classical meaning of people who believe in the return to the land. The word of the Lord was addressed to me as follows, and I don't see Zionism as a curse. Some people like to portray it in the UN and places. Now, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel. Prophesy and say this. You are foolish prophets. You are like jackals on the run. You haven't fortified. Again, this is the anti-sentry thing. They haven't been good warners, haven't been good sentry. On the contrary, they've been lying, empty visions and lying prophecies. This is in the Damascus document, and it speaks about the man of lying in the Damascus document like that. Empty visions and lying prophecies. It's the Lord who speaks. You see, you must see what is done and see if the words come true. But you should not go according to these empty visions or lying prophecies. And say that the Lord speaks when it's only yourself, not myself, the Lord. Okay, so here's what the Lord is going to do, line 8. The Lord Yahweh says this, because of your empty words and lying visions, I set myself against you. By the way, the letter of James calls the enemy who is teaching that Abraham was justified by faith and not by works, the empty man. Whether that has to do with the emptiness here, I don't know, but I have a feeling it does. In any case, I'm going to stretch my hand over the prophets who have empty visions and lying prophecies, and they will not be admitted into the council of the people, nor entered in the book of the house of Israel. Notice this again between Israel and Judah. And you will learn that I am the Lord, and they are misleading my people. And how are they misleading them? They cry peace when there is no peace. A lot of people thought that that applied to the Sinai Accords under Carter and under Bush's father and the Madrid Peace Conference and so on. And all that happened was the peace accords were used to bring in bazookas and dynamite and explosive, and suddenly, everyone was armed with every kind of weapon you can think of. That was the result of the peace process. So, in fact, you see, you could apply the words to the present day very, very adequately if you were of a mind to. No one reads the Bible anymore among Jews much, so I don't think that they do it. Christians, I think, can do it because Christians take the Bible more seriously in many regards than Jewish people do in these areas. The Jewish people have more or less surrendered this area to Christians because I think Christians have read it more carefully and are more interested in it because of the prophecies that they're interested in. But as you see, if you want to apply it to the present political situation, you could really have a field day here. They cry peace when there is no peace. And instead of my people rebuilding the wall, these men come and slap plaster on the wall. Tell the plasterers this, it's going to rain hard. What kind of rain? Judgmental rain. Are the plasterers on the wall referred to in the Damascus document? They are. And the same thing, that the people who slap plaster on the wall are the Pharisees in the Damascus document. Yeah?
Can you elaborate on the Damascus?
No, it's too complicated. It would take me 2 periods. You're just going to have to read it yourself. I'm just telling you it's there. Go look for it. But it's all in there, but it's a very complicated document. I read the Damascus document in my scrolls class. I'm just telling you it's there. It takes me about, I would say, 6 class periods to read through it. And it's an incredible document. It's written in the time of the fall of the temple or before. It's the key document in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and it's like no other document you've ever read, but they are drawing on these prophecies. Yeah.
Are they available online?
You can pick up my book and get a translation. Why do it online, man? I wouldn't read someone else's translation when you've got a better one standing right here before you. It's in my Dead Sea Scrolls and the First Christians. The whole translation is there, both in the Hebrew and in the English with some comments. And I may think my translation is better than what you'll get online. So they're available in many places in any case. But yeah, I don't know if it's online. I don't know about line. I don't know about that. Okay. Sorry, it would take me. I got to get through Ezekiel. And